Let me be clear. The politics of division and anger and resentment can drive a strong base to the polls, yes, but it is tearing our country apart at the seams, and nothing is getting done.
Hardliners are rewarded, collaboration is vilified. Congress is so gridlocked they can't even pass the most basic laws to improve the lives of everyday Americans.
Only 4% of Americans have a great deal of confidence in Congress now. Just 4%. America is no longer even considered a full democracy. We are witnessing a total political system failure in America.
There is currently virtually no intersection between Congress acting in the public interest and the likelihood of their being reelected. So in other words, if America's representatives do their jobs the way we need them to, they're likely to lose those jobs.
The parties focus the vast majority of their attention on serving these two groups, the partisan primary voters and the special interests. And because the voters only have these two choices, as Catherine mentioned, the duopoly doesn't actually have to deliver any results to the average voter to win elections and say in a duopoly.
See this horizontal line? That shows public support for a law amongst average Americans. This vertical line, that shows the likelihood of the public support leading to the passage of a law. When you plot it for the average American, you get a line that looks like this. There's your issue sitting on that line. If there is zero support for a law, there's about a 30% chance that Congress is going to pass it. And if there is 100% support for something, the most popular thing ever, there's still a 30% chance that Congress is going to pass it. So the line is horizontal because no matter how much support there is among average Americans, there's still a 30% chance that Congress is going to pass that law. Princeton determined that the preferences of the average American appear to have only a minuscule, near zero, statistically non-significant impact on public policy.
And this is by design, but not intent. The design is the algorithm that attracts maximum eyeballs attached to unconscious brains. That's the algorithm of sales. Hate sells. Hate sells. It comes down to that. We do not hate each other as much as we think we do. But hate is such a compelling way to draw clicks and draw audience that that is what the media focuses on, that is what politics focuses on, and that is what advertisers pay for.
Okay, money in politics is a great example of one of those problems that people know about, but they don't understand how the money is corrupting the system. The reality is there are 435 members of Congress, 360 of them are safe. They could almost do anything and get reelected. So the question is, how does money corrupt them? Well, they have to raise money and give it to the party in order to rent or buy their committee assignments. Like literally, the party comes to you, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, and says, if you want an important committee, you're going to have to pay us this much money. Not one time, but every election cycle. You can't go back to your district and ask your constituents at a fundraiser to help you buy a seat on a committee. You get that money from the lobbyists who are in Washington, D.C. They don't even knock on your door. They come on the floor of the House of Representatives and they've got a little assessment card and they'll slip it in your pocket while you're voting and say, by the way, Thomas, you're $300,000 overdue. We expect you to pay something this quarter.
For the first time since the Great Depression, life expectancy in the U.S. is actually going down while it goes up in the rest of the world. We were once ranked top in the world for education. We've fallen to 27th. We can't afford life-saving prescriptions, and medical bills are forcing families into bankruptcy. Almost half of American families can't even afford basic necessities like rent and food. What I want to know is, how do we fix it?
It's wired into the reality of the nature of this competition, and there's only one way it's going to change, and that's us.
The last bill, 833 pages, it was finished to be written 20 minutes before they voted on it. So if we can make things more transparent, more open, and we as citizens can finally get engaged again. Right now we have the Kingdom of DC dictating all these movements to it and ideas and expenditures, and we basically have to get more engaged and participate.
I want people who are very progressive to come there and fight for their principles. I want people who are very conservative to come and fight for their principles. I want others to fight for their principles. And let's have it be a deliberative process and see how it shakes out. And then we will better reflect the will of the people through the process.
Now, what if I told you that one of the best ways to actually overcome this is to have courageous conversations with difficult people, people who do not see the world the same way that you see the world. Oh yes, folks, conversations may be indeed the key to that upgrade. Keep in mind, conversations stop violence. Conversations start countries. They build bridges. And when the chips are down, conversations are the last tool that humans use before they pick up the guns. I'm talking about in-your-face conversations with real, breathing people.
Really, only about 15% of people on the left and 15% of people on the right actually hate each other. They have dehumanized each other. They have denied the humanity in one another because they are warriors. And they have decided that that is the enemy and they're the good guys and the battle is on. And those are the voices that we're hearing. And we only hear those voices because they sell advertisements.
Hope. Hope not in this idea that politics is going to fix itself. Hope in this idea that if you reach out to people, if you facilitate those face-to-face connections, if you have those conversations, if you show people the theory for change, if you show people this is how you get from A to B, a real method, a real way to change this, I think that even in our divisive political moment today, where things seem absolutely hopeless, I still believe in everyday Americans, especially young people's ability to make change.
We do not fear the truth, make our fellow Americans the enemies, or close ourselves off to reason. We are public servants, not party servants. We love our party, yes, but we are Americans. We want solutions, not cable news arguments. That is the bottom line.
All I'm asking is that everyone who watches this video needs to do something. That you do something. Because you can be damn sure if you do nothing, nothing is going to change. I'm here to tell you that your voice does matter. Join us.